Okay, here is the motor installed the camera, and this is already adjusted correctly to the camera, but I'm going to take it off so you can see how it's actually installed here. So I will take it off and show in reverse how it is installed there and then putting it back. So now when it's mounted to the camera, I will keep the magazine on the camera just to have some kind of working surface here. So I'm going to put some paper here just to protect the magazine so that I can put these screws and nuts and stuff there. And as you can see, I don't have a viewfinder mounted here, so I'm going to put some masking tape over to open so that I don't accidentally drop anything there. It would be very difficult to get it out. In another video I showed you how this motor is powered up and how to... This is the first type of controller I made for it. You can run the motor with different type of controllers too. I'm working on a 12-speed model. This 16-speed one was so difficult to put together, and I was not able to sell that many of them, so it created some losses to make this 16-speed one, so I discontinued it after the first batch, and now I'm working on a slightly cheaper controller which I can assemble in small batches, like 1 or 2 at a time. But you can run this motor with different types of controllers. The old 16-speed one and the 12-speed one, I can make another types of controllers. And you can actually make a very simple kind of real start type wide control knob which can control these two. You will basically need a 5-volt voltage regulator and a couple of capacitors and potentiometer. Similar type of 4-pin connectors that this intermediate cable uses, with small speed between these controllers made by me and the motor unit. So I can continue making these motor units. I don't make these 16-speed controllers anymore, but I can make another type of controllers if needed. So this motor unit uses from 18 volts to 20 volts input power, and it uses a 2-pin connector like this for input power. And there is, I can show you the circuit board inside. It is possible that you may sometimes replace the fuse if you connect the input power wrong. And it is allowed for you to... It is allowed for you to repair the fuse if needed. So I'm going to show you how to access it. So there's screws. It's gonna just taking them out, taking the lid off carefully. Here's the small circuit board. And the idea is that if you accidentally connect reverse voltage to the input, these diodes short circuit the input wires and burn this fuse. This small wire is actually a fuse. If you accidentally happen to burn this fuse at some point, you can try to repair it by yourself. Just get some thin copper wire which is about the same diameter solder it here. Weak points are this fuse and the process controller board. So I wanted to mount them inside the motor unit so that you can actually access them easily, and there is not super sensitive parts around like inside this. If you would open this by yourself, you would likely break some wires and destroy something, and you would need to send this back to me for repairs. This is not possible to repair by yourself, but the motor unit is so simple on purpose so that it would be possible for you to repair at least something if needed. Here's a closer view so you can see the diodes which are meant to protect the sensitive electronics, especially the actual crystal controller, and the fuse which is supposed to burn if you accidentally connect reverse power to the unit. This fuse you can repair by yourself if needed. So it is very simple to just take the 4 screws out and hold this open, and you can access the fuse if needed. I can also repair this for you if needed, but it is possible to make it by yourself. So I put all the parts which you can repair by yourself in this motor unit so that they are easier to assemble, and you can't actually destroy the crystal controller further if there would be something wrong with it. So I'm going to put this back together now. And then I'm going to take the motor off the camera. So I have the motor mounted on the camera now, and I'm going to take this off. I will first like to mount the magazine in the camera so that the camera stays in correct position and I have some firm surface here that I can mount the motor. So I'm going to first open this 4 nuts and then lift the motor unit over. So this is too small. Just 2 nuts. Just going to use this. It was not. Oh. So first taking all the 4 nuts off, then lifting the motor and putting it there, so, and then I can access the other parts. Just remembering to protect all the openings in the camera so that I don't actually drop these nuts there. So I have spacers and the nuts here for spacing the motor. You can see the coupling there. Take a closer view now. So the motor was mounted here, and I took off, then took the spacer nuts off. There's 4 of each. I'm going to take these off too. If you don't want to scratch your motor plates, you can use some better tools, but this is just a prototype unit, so I don't really care. This open. This too. some scratches for you.
Yep.
And then taking the nuts out. Now I'm going to lift this off. You can see there's stuff underneath it. I'm going to show you what there is. There is two versions of this. So this is a spacer plate. As you can see, these are the original screws mounting the original ACL motor of the camera body. And I made this bottom plate, and then there's a spacer so that the screw heads are not disturbing the rest of the assembly. So it needs the spacer plate. There's the mounting plate, which mounts on the camera body. There's the spacer plate, and there's two versions of this. One version is 1.6 millimeters thick, and one version is 1 millimeter thick. So this is the thinner one. I use a thin piece of neoprene foam to make it just a little bit thicker. You may receive either version, either the slightly thicker one or the thinner one with the neoprene piece. So then I have the motor completely off. And there's only the mounting plate in place. So I made 4 of these 4 bolts to mount the rest of the motor. Yeah. So I'm going to take the mounting plate of the camera too. These are the original screws, the small ones. And you want to be careful not to over tighten these, because they are pretty soft steel and very short. The attachment is only like this long, so you can easily strip the threads, and it's very difficult to get new ones of these, so be careful with the original screws. All the screws I use are standard M4s, so you can get these from the hardware store, but the original camera screws are very rare and precious. So I'm going to take these off too. And there's the mounting plate, and there's the camera body itself. And when having the original ACL motor on the camera, you will mount the intermediate plate here. Usually they are kind of triangular shaped, larger plates, so you will mount that triangular plate with the 4 original screws, and then mount the motor to that triangular plate. And the motor connector goes here. The new motor is completely external, so it doesn't use the original base electronics at all. I have actually taken the original electronics out of my camera. You can see that there's no connection, there's nothing inside the base. The base is there just to mount it to the tripod. I have built one of the 16-speed systems inside this type of base, so that is possible too, but I don't make those systems anymore because it's way too difficult, and you would need to ship the camera body to me for maybe 4 months or so, and there's a risk of ruining the base when mashing the openings for displays and etc. So I don't make those built-in systems anymore. I only made one for a customer. Then this continued the built-in system and went with this external design, which was more useful for most ACL users anyway, because they can install this by themselves.